stuns in like an
And
all-in
I think
fight
we're
is
live.
really helpful. But maybe in jungle it's not as
I
valuable.
can pull up
And
my
But then again, you're not
secondary
gonna get
browser
double
and
keys
double
in jungle
check.
lane either. I'd probably rather just have more stuns. But I'm actually not sure what the stats say
why
on this.
is it not showing me? Your League official
What's up,
being
Blue Throw?
live.
Saw you've been actually playing some League this past few days. Did you finally get sucked back in?
Okay, well I have the title wrong. I have the
There it
description
goes.
in the title, but it is live.
It's live.
Eric sucks. True. I mean, look at him.
Oh wait,
4 and 0. Not a single
Hello,
assist.
me.
Not a team player.
that's the wrong account.
Not a team
Alright, but we're live! We did it!
Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to hop off and keep doing the work that I put off until now. Best of luck.
Sounds good.
Thank you for streaming. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, peace out.
Not actually
Peace
sure
out.
what they're waiting for here. Oh, they're waiting for Trevor to redo his or reset his internet. Oh, well, thank you, Celerox. That was a that was a very fortuitous answer to my question. He's restarting internet. Pantheon is good if the enemy isn't winning against all your laners while you're ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Close out of that. Sorry, if anyone's in chat, don't forget to rip a stream notification. Yes, I will be doing that. I just got the drafter link. What is a Yorkshire pudding? I don't know. It sounds made up. Move that over to this screen. I guess I'll close out of Slay the Spire 2. Be very professional here. And rip a notification here. There's a lot of chatting going on in chat. I'm typing a notification. Oop, I lied.
You are right to fear me.
I'm going. Do not confuse cowardice for wisdom.
You are right to fear me.
Alright. Vermilion, I ripped a chat, but I also don't have... I guess the add everyone worked because I copy and pasted from Slamrise message. Sounds like they are picking and banning right now.
What's the worst that could happen?
Switch over to that graphic. Vermilion, I ripped a chat, but I also don't have... I guess the add everyone worked because I copy and pasted from Slamrise message. There you go. And the names and scores still need to be adjusted. So give me a second. PPP got blue side. DS got red side.
So I go.
Not entirely sure why. Oh, nice. I can see chat from here. It's convenient. Not sure why pictures aren't loading up, but Mbessa and Yunar are in this game. They just aren't shown in the pictures. Looks like we have an Mbessa mid lane and a Yunar AD carry. The other side, everyone's showing up in the right spot. But yeah, we have Urgot versus Camille. Honestly, the matchup is nice unless Camille gets really ahead. If Camille starts snowballing, that matchup does get tough, but if it's a relatively even game state at level 9 Urgot, which can be said about a lot of his matchups, he has outplay potential on the Camille. He can buffer the E into the Camille slingshot E to land the flip. The really only hard mechanic there is making sure you don't ult at the wrong time, because Camille can dodge your R, the Urgot R, with the Camille R. Jungle matchups, don't know exactly how it goes. Elise is good at dive, Elise is good at picks, so we'll see if PPP is able to play around that. Wukong, a little bit better of a team fighter there. If they're able to stay stable until team fights happen with Wukong Vex, I think that will be very good for Team DS. Mbessa versus Vex. On paper, that sounds like a great matchup for Vex. Never seen it. We'll see how it plays out. Biscuit Boy versus Enemy 3 on my screen right now. And I'm sure his name will pop up. And I should have had his name, but that's how it's showing up on my screen right now. Yunar versus Sivir, both of them scale pretty well. I think Yunar is just a little bit better of a champion right now. Sivir is still a solid champion. Lets you spell shield threatening spells like Lease, Cocoon, or Mbessa ult. That being said, Yunar is the newer champion. I know it's a little bit of a meme, but newer champions are pretty good, generally speaking. Especially when they're both late game teamfight scaling monsters like this. We have Zilean versus Bard. Bard able to make plays around the map. We'll see how the Bard plays this game. Bard ult can notably counter Urgot ult. If you ult the person that Urgot has in his R, he won't get pulled. That being said, if you ult the Urgot, the pull will go off. And if the pull goes off, it'll still get the kill, it'll still get the fear. So we'll see how Bard can make creative use of his R. Zilean on Team PPP should help with the pick potential from Camille in the later part of the game. And should help counter the Wukong engage with the E. But we'll see. Only I think the key for winning on left side early game is play around. I think they need to play around that top side early game. Bot lane, it's hard to play into Sivir Bard. Bard should be roaming pretty often. Sivir has enough wave clear to safely deal with, crashes for the most part. Has the spell shield to help live the dive. It is an Elise dive, so there's a good chance it'll still work, but it might cost them something. Whereas if they are able to snowball the Urgot, Camille is tough to play from behind. Vex is... I think Vex will have Valley in this game no matter what. But yeah, I think the big... Then in the mid-game, late game, they're going to need to play around a pick. Getting a pick to start a fight. Elise Cocoon into Urgot ult, into Mbessa combo. Yunar W into Elise Cocoon. Combos like that just really make the fight a 4v5. They need to make these fights 4v5s. In a straight 5v5, I do think red side is favored. And we are starting the game. I think, okay, the team name's updated as well. The scores, though, came in, and those are the wrong scores. It is currently game 1, 0-0. I do really like the Ignite from Urgot here. Muffin Man on the Urgot. If he's able to use that Ignite to snowball the lane, that will be... that will provide them with a lot more side lane pressure. Mbessa does have TP as well for the later game side laning, whereas Vex does not have TP, so at some point in this game we might see an Urgot versus Vex side lane, and then Mbessa Camille, since they are both the TP users. That being said, Camille's TP will be stronger than Mbessa's. Camille has the top lane quest, so Camille gets the upgraded teleport. Along with the upgraded teleport being a shorter cooldown, it also provides Camille with a big shield upon entry. 30% max health shield. So we will see how things decide to split from there. Zoom out a little bit, get the big picture. Battlecast Urgot, Infernal Wukong, Space Groove Vex, I think. Looks like Team PPP is going for the ward on Raptor Bush, looking to see if anyone from Team DS steps out a little too far. Slouch did miss the first spell, so no fear available to them. Slouch drops a ward. Ward gets instantly cleared. 5 gold and no ward to Team DS early. A couple of wards here on the escape from both teams, so both teams will know who's starting where. They won't exactly be able to see Elise on the Raptors, but knowing that she was in that area, if they see her on the red buff, they will be able to infer that. In the bot lane, Bard getting a good trade-off. I do think Bard has a lot more laning pressure than the Zilean. So we will... Muffin Man with the flip. 8 Mabses. Camille W sweeping something. Sweeping tactical sweep. 8 the tactical sweep. Pick up the W off afterward. Tactical sweep does heal Camille every time she lands it, so it is important to dodge. Catalyst Tau getting hit by the Bard Q into the stun, brought very low. Looks like Yunara has 8 stacks, not able to do anything with it, but both Empirical and Catalyst Tau able to get out with their lives. Wukong did enter the red side. They did see that Elise got red buff. I don't know if they saw Elise going back to her side of the jungle instead of going to Krug's, but Wukong able to get the red buff at the very least. We'll see if he goes for more here. Looks like Team DS might get a plate here in the bot lane. Just short of getting a plate and maybe getting punished for it. Looks like Wukong invaded the Raptors. Elise and Mbessa are both here, but Wukong has a lot of early armor. They're able to take down the Elise. The Ignite was used, or not the Elise, the Mbessa. The Ignite was used on her. Pyroan also goes down. Kill given over to the Vex. She has double buffs now. That's great for her lane. Bard forced to flash out here, but looks like they are chasing down Zilean and Yunara. Zilean goes down to the flash. Vex Q. And that is 3 kills early for Vex. 3 kills and double buffs. If she is able to reset here safely, she's going to come back an absolute monster. Quick check, by the way. Only 1 new item was purchased. Only 1 Doran's Bow. One thing I have heard with Doran's Bow, haven't tried it myself, so take this with a grain of thought, but some of the people who are finding success with Doran's Bow have been running it with double adaptive force. The double adaptive force just helping with the whole... Oh, flash cocoon from Elise. Great combo onto Slouch. Slouch tried to use the shield. Slouch does go down, though. Shut down over to Mbessa. All of that happened before Slouch was able to spend the gold, which means that even though Vex was ahead on paper, she wasn't actually ahead in the game. I believe double buffs ended up going over to Mbessa. Yep. The kill happened fast enough that double buffs are on Mbessa now. The health regen will be very useful for surviving the poke from Vex post reset, and it looks like Biscuit Boy is going to get a successful reset off here. Forgot to turn on objective timers. Boom, there we go. Wukong trying to invade Pyroan's Krugs here. Does get chased off by the bot lane. Catalyst Towel walking up to dodge the bard Q, ends up taking a full Sivir Q instead. Meanwhile, Slouch stepped up a little too far. Pyroan from behind with the cocoon. Down goes Vex. Now Lucifer there on Wukong, but Biscuit Boy has double buffs. Wukong, though, early base damage, early base armor lets him win the fight, even though it is level 4 versus level 5. Well done to the Wukong. Bard roamed up there as well, and Mabs on Camille ripped the TP. They're able to get the kill, push in mid. Wukong's also able to get the Raptors, and then I believe they'll all be safe to reset if needed. Wukong going for the reset, 1200 in his pocket. Meanwhile, Camille will not miss much in the top lane. In the bot lane, we have Sivir pushing in the wave. As Sivir does, Camille immediately jumps onto Urgot, trying to establish some early health advantage into this portion of the lane, into this reset. Urgot able to just walk it off, though, and now Urgot is getting a plant, will have ult advantage, and has ignite advantage, which puts him at a very... should let him dominate this next section of lane. Pyroan is scuttling up there. I mean, he has multiple legs. He is walking, but he's a spider, so... They do spot out Pyroan on the control ward. Vex and Wukong looking at her, but Vex not able to land a fear. Cocoon not landing onto the Vex. The Camille did roam down. The wave is currently pushing away from the Camille, though, so she will lose some minions here. Slouch able to fear the Mbessa after the first engage, but there is a second. Mbessa has her ultimate. Meanwhile, Muffin Man gets the E onto Mabs. Not able to do anything else with it, but the Vex did go down to the Mbessa and the Zillion there. Zillion with a great roam. A lot of that top lane. Oh, Bard looking forward onto Tau. Does get slowed, does get stunned. Empirical not able to follow up on the Bard, hitting the minions under turret. A lot of this top lane matchup will come out to Mbessa using that increased movement speed from her Q1 to dodge the E. If she's able to do that successfully, she's really able to whittle down an Urgot's health bar. While Urgot is a ranged character, his go button, his E, has a lot of startup lag to it. So if you can use your movement speed to kind of get in and out, you can really outspace the Urgot during laning phase on Camille. See that slow? Now the movement speed. Okay, it did get hit by the Muffin Man E there, but not in too much danger. Could have used the E to get away, instead uses it to really cement the trade into his favor. Meanwhile, Team DS able to get the first drag, 8 minutes 40 seconds, not too late into the game. About 9 minutes, so 9 minutes. Put the next one at 14. Looking at about potential for 29-minute soul, I believe. My bad, 24. If he's able to get them all. Mabs, no mana, barely any mana, but it was enough for both the R and the Q. Able to kill the low HP Urgot there before resetting. And Muffin Man does not have teleport, so even though this wave is not in the best spot, the wave should continue pushing and crash before Muffin Man's able to get up there. Although with no new home guards, maybe he gets up there in time. We'll see. Catalyst out, dodging the Sivir Boomerang. Also running towards the plant, so he dodges the Bard ult. Curious how that wave is top lane. Okay. Looks like the wave is now pushing towards Mabs eventually, if left alone. All these little bits of AoE though will keep Mabs in a dangerous position. Urgot does have ult, does have ignite still, so even though Camille was just able to get a kill here, if Urgot E'd too early, so Mabs is able to get a free Camille E onto him. But if Urgot does play this patiently and lands an E onto the Camille, he could be looking at a kill in about 2 E's. So he does need to poke down Camille a little bit first though. But with Ignite and R, still able to play out the lane. Did just hit level 9, now has the toggle available. Mabs though, level 10, has level advantage up top lane, each level worth roughly 600 gold. I believe. If not, well then I'm spreading misinformation, and I can live with that. Muffin Man brought down a half HP, doesn't have much sustain in his kit. Goes for the flash flip engage. Mabs misses the E, sends it out to nowhere. Does land everything, including the ult, but not quite able to bring her down to the threshold for a kill. Pyroan, though, and Mbessa both looking to complete the job. Wukong just out of sight. Does get spotted, though. CC chained and killed nearly instantly. I think he had just enough time to press flash, which he did. But I mean, you know, didn't have enough time to input any other movements after that. Probably not CC'd for half a second tops. Great CC layering from Biscuit Boy and Pyroan. Does reward Pyroan with the red buff as well. In the bot lane. Oh, flash stun from J-Rod on the Bard onto Empirical. Does time out Empirical's 8 stack counter. I believe that's how it works. That being said, Velociraptor did tank a turret shot and was forced to use barrier there. Okay, a little bit more poke from Sivir. They are looking for turret here. Ult the Zillion, looking to kill him right after turret. Does miss the Q timing. Not Mbessa. Yunara flashes forward with the Zillion ult on her. Looking to kill the Sivir. Is getting whittled down by Bard, but does end up killing the Bard and takes the Sivir down as well. Bard had a shutdown, so that is a big gold swing for Empirical. Actually, talking about gold, we'll check in here. Looks like now's a good time. Yunara just got a reset off. Yeah. Top lane, just about even. 300 gold, so it truly is just that one kill of gold advantage going over to Mabs. Oh, talking about, you know, low action. Mabs proving me wrong, deciding to E in right when I pull up the gold. Muffin Man was able to land his E that time. Oh, great buffer from Muffin Man. The hard part is, though, the auto attack does come out before the buffer from Camille. So Camille does have the shield. Biscuit Boy landing his ult right onto Slouch. Able to get out of there while being alive. Wukong and Bard able to take down the Yunara before Dragon. Pyroan, though, catches the Wukong, rotating over to Dragon. Bot lane is there to help Wukong out. Pyroan thinks better, walks away. Muffin Man tries eating out, but he is stuck in the Camille ultimate. Does get taken down by Camille. Camille does have a Triforce right now, so she is pumping damage. Well played by Mabs. Gold check. Back to that. So Mabs does have 600. A 600 gold lead now. Brought up to 700 after that plate. We just saw that happen. J-Rod able to get away from Catalyst Tau. Catalyst Tau's slow, being very annoying, but Bard does have a portal, so he is still able to escape. 400 gold lead for Pyroan. Looks like 600 gold lead for Mbessa, Biscuit Boy. $500 gold lead for Yunara. I was reading the first one wrong. And 700 gold lead for Bard here. So yeah, just like the gold is showing, things are relatively even here. You know, right now you want to be playing around this Mbessa, you want to be playing around this Yunara, but overall the game is very even. Muffin Man looking at Sivir and Wukong as they take down the Rift Herald. Wukong able to kill the Rift Herald. Able to get the eye, I believe. Does go down, though, to Empirical on Yunara. Yunara able to get a second kill. Pyroan picking one up for himself as well. Herald for 3. I think you're happy if you're Team PPP with that. Cocoon going just a little bit wide, and Vex Alt also going a little bit wide. We'll see if Team DS is able to make a good team fight happen while they have Herald available. That Herald could be very valuable. You know. Oh, Biscuit Boy going in onto J-Rod. J-Rod went over the wall and said, "Hey, be scared of me." Threw out his auto attack, threw out a Q, and Mbessa said, "Oh, you want to fight?" Just went right in after him. Chased him back. But yeah, if Team DS is able to make a good fight happen, and you know, if they're winning that fight 3-0, that Rift Herald can be used to snowball. As is, I'm happy getting the 3 kills. Mabs buffering the Urgot. Urgot so used to buffering other champion spells, getting a little taste of what it feels like to get his spell buffered. J-Rod on Bard, doing some Bard things. Portals. They chase the portal. Does get the stun. Able to flash over the wall. Able to use his ult to finish escaping. Great fear by Slouch to help him out. That right there is some good old Bard gameplay. Meanwhile, topside, Wukong dropping Rift Herald with Camille. They're looking to make a push happen. They saw a lot of members in the bot lane, and they're trying to capitalize on that. Catalyst Tau flashing away from the Vex ult. If that landed, he would have been in trouble. Wukong crashes Rift Herald into the second turret as well. Looks like they are able to get 3 plates. Wukong playing for blue buff also. Able to get it. Looking to get out. Pyroan hot on his heels. Doesn't have Spider Grapple available. Does flash away from the Wukong Flash ER. able to survive. Now their bot lane is here. PPP bot lane looking aggressive, able to land the slow onto Sivir. Sivir spell shields, but the timing's a little off. Doesn't negate the slow, also doesn't negate the Mbessa ult. Gets hit by the Mbessa. Wukong in a bad place, surrounded by all team PPP players. Also goes down. I know it's tough with this Sivir and with this Mbessa and Elise. Or not Sivir. Yunara, Mbessa, and Elise, but if you're Team DS here, you have to keep Sivir, you have to help keep Sivir safe. Not very strong yet. So, you know, there's still time for Sivir to get stronger. But right there, Sivir was not allowed to play. Did step up a little too far, though. Looks like we have Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. Both teams have a Dragon. This will be second Dragon for whoever gets it. We are playing for Cloud Soul. Long term. Pyroan hitting his Gromp. All of Team DS already in the bot side, except for the Camille, who doesn't have teleport yet. Checking vision real quick. It is pretty dark. They have a little bit of vision in the bot try on Team PPP. Meanwhile, Team DS has it all lit up. Might be lit up though, but Biscuit Boy also sees a fight and doesn't care. He decides to go in, does get exhausted. Bard tries to ult to save himself. Biscuit Boy flashing to create a little bit of space. Able to get away from enough of Slouch's burst that Slouch goes down and Mbessa stays alive. Well played by Biscuit Boy. Meanwhile, Mabs teleported in, is getting chased down by Empirical. Does get hit by the Yunara slow. Able to get out though. Yeah, Biscuit Boy played that very well. Went in, was able to kill the Bard before Bard ult came down on himself. Oh, I still have blue vision up. Able to kill the Bard before Bard ulted himself. Used the flash to space just enough of Vex's burst because I thought he was in trouble, but then his W came back off cooldown. Oh, great stun by Catalyst Tau. And I really hope I'm saying that right because I've said it so many times this cast. Pyroan and Biscuit Boy getting engaged on by Wukong. Camille ults the Biscuit Boy. Wukong able to get the shutdown on Mbessa. Also able to get the shutdown on Elise. It is 900 extra gold plus the 2 kills. That's 1,500 gold from that one fight, from that one engage. It's huge for Wukong's game. Wukong does have Cyclosword, which did get changed. Your first attack deals bonus damage and gives you lethality. Sounds pretty good. I know Wukong is one of those bruisers that can flex a little bit of lethality. You know, we've seen it in the past with, I forgot what the Tiamat lethality item's called, but we have seen that in the past. We've seen it in the past with Hubris. Wukong is able to take advantage of lethality. Part of the reason why is, you know, he has some built-in armor shred, so he isn't as reliant on percentage armor shred. If he stacks up enough, or early game before teams really build too much armor, that flat armor pen and lethality stack very well together. Oh, looks like they might have caught Bard out, but Bard does have flash, is followed by Biscuit Boy with another great Mbessa ultimate. Bard doing some Bard things, trying to get away, does stall, does hit a Q onto Biscuit Boy and Muffin Man. and get some increased movement speed. The rest of Bard's team is here. Bard does ult the Urgot and the Camille. That's a lot of their gold. Stuck in stasis. Mabs with another great little engage on the side there. Pyroan able to take down Bard finally, but Vex was doing damage that entire fight as well. It's absolutely huge for Team DS. Just like that, gold is absolutely even, but Team DS is about to get... Team DS is about to get buried. Oh, Wukong does go down to the Baron. Are they able to do this? They don't have a real tank for this. They aren't able to get the Baron here. Gold is still even. Empirical might have gotten caught out by Mabs here. Does get Q1, does get Q2'd, does press R, and hits the slow onto Camille, but Camille is also able to escape. Biscuit Boy was teleporting there to help out Empirical. Yeah, no, that last fight, very well done from DS. Bard able to hit that two-man ultimate, able to put Pyroan, who is a good chunk of his team's gold. You know, 10,000, looks like there's 50,000, so he's his fair share. Oh, Lucifer getting caught out on his way to the dragon spawn. Great cocoon from Pyroan. This is what we were talking about before the game with, you know, Team PPP having to make these fights 4v4. The last 5v5 went the way of DS, but that pick will turn this next dragon into a 4v5, and I think Team DS, looking at the way Mabs is running, might just give this dragon. It would only be third dragon, does put them on soul point, but doesn't actually give them soul yet. Yeah, too easy. This game is really tight. This game is still a coin flip. Yeah, Team DS does decide to give the dragon. Smart decision. They are down their jungler currently. Starting to set up pressure, playing towards the top. Slouch notably does not have teleport, is in the bot lane. Rotating over to the Bard, does get seen on vision. It's not like they're turning though to catch the Vex. They do see the Vex coming. Team PPP should not over-engage here. Sivir. 2 items. Does have the Essence Reaver Navori combo. Does also have Last Whisper, not enough to finish off probably Giant's Belt. I don't think you need too much anti-heal. Although Mbessa does have the Omnivamp boots. Ooh, Pyroan's Cocoon gets spell shielded by Sivir. Does get... Slouch does also land his ult onto Pyroan. Whole fight broke out from it, and Urgot goes down, Elise goes down, Yunara goes down, and Zillion. All 4 of them go down. That right there is a great 5v5 from Team DS. You know, Mbessa is walking over, so I'm curious what happens here. I'm tempted to rewind, and I probably will after we see what Mbessa decides to do. Mbessa presses R from outside of the pit, misses it, decides to recall. Smart decision. He is recalling on vision. Okay, it does get the recall off. I'm going to go back real quick and rewatch that fight. Speed it up a little bit here. Trying to do this without the time controls. Here's Pyroan. Sivir with the great spell shield to stop the Pyroan cocoon. Slouch trying to engage onto the at least. Muffin Man going forward, and Empirical getting Bard alted. That was a great Bard alt from J-Rod, which really slowed down Team PPP's damage. You know, Empirical, great AD carry in an AoE team fight, but Bard just completely had shut that down, so that's how that 4v4 went. Back to where we were. Alright, they got the Baron, they got their reset, and now I'm slowed down to regular speed. That looks like regular speed. Dragon's not spawning for another 2 minutes 30. Pyroan, though, looking to invade, has his team behind him. Does miss the cocoon. Bard Q goes out, gets a good stun. Bard ult goes out, hits Muffin Man and Catalyst Tau. Here's Wukong finishing the job on the Zillion. Does go down to Empirical, though. Meanwhile, on the back line, Mbessa had tried diving it, but Mbessa goes down. Sivir with a triple kill. Well, we are at the point in the game where Sivir deals damage. It was incredibly well done by DS again. You know, stopping that initial pick from Pyroan and able to turn that into something advantageous for them. 3 of them did go mid. Sivir pushing bot, looking to maximize the amount of gold that they get here, and putting a lot of that solo gold onto the Sivir. That is a good decision. That might be able to Sivir with 2,500. I'm pretty sure that means Sivir is going to be able to afford IE before this next dragon spawns. Does get 2 plates on that inhibitor turret. Inhibitor mid did go down. You know, sometimes I think I'm watching it at 2 times speed, but that's just Zillion speeding people up and letting them run at Mach 10. Okay, looks like we have a fight over Scuttle, fight over Vision here. Currently, all 5 members of DS are here in the Dragon side area. I'm not sure how Catalyst Tau ended up in the pit, but that is not where he wanted to be. Looking at where he was, I'm assuming he got knocked over by Blast Cone, and I'm curious enough to check that out, but that is a pick going to the side of Team DS. And they decide to abandon this dragon, which makes a lot of sense. Camille making it back up towards top lane to stop Muffin Man's push. The other 3 members, not including Wukong, pushing bot lane with, I believe they still have Baron buff. Muffin Man's ult goes just wide. If that ult had hit, he might have gotten a kill here, but now it's close. Mabs probably playing for the passive cooldown. Yep, passive is back up, gets the shield, able to kill the Urgot, and lives. A very close fight. Alright, really quick on this reset here, I am curious. I know it happened a little while ago, but that all came out from the... Alright, I'm turning on time controls. I don't know how we went that far back. I just pressed the rewind button a couple of times there. Boom. Time controls. How did Catalyst Tau end up over there? Goes to ward. I'm assuming right there he turned around and accidentally misclicked that blast cone. And he put himself in that bad position, which led to them getting the dragon, led to Camille able to head back top lane uncontested. Another visual at this, you know. Boom. Muffin Man able to get the buffer back off, but not quite able to deal enough damage. Alright. Reset's going. I think I was at ×2 speed, so we saw Zillion die even faster than he did, but he did get bursted down instantly there trying to ward out. Siege coming out towards the top side here. Baron spawning in about 1:10. Not only are they going to siege, but they're going to set up vision control behind them. Wukong going in, going back out with the Trickster. The clone ability, forgot what it's called. I think it's something Trickster. Warrior Trickster. Muffin Man seeing Wukong over the wall, but Wukong seeing Muffin Man and engaging on him. Getting Empirical, going over the next wall. Does go down to Mbessa, but able to kill Empirical, which should let this team fight go in DS's favor. Biscuit Boy trying to get onto the Sivir. Was fighting the Vex for a little bit, but not quite able to kill the Sivir or the Vex. Mabs getting exhausted. Looks like top lane inhib is going down. Alright, they do decide to just turn on these Nexus turrets. Makes a lot of sense. Catalyst Tau walking forward, probably trying to double bomb the minions there, but just gets jumped on by Mabs. Lives, but not able to stop Team DS's end. Well done by Team DS. That early game was looking a little tough. There was a lot of good picks out from Pyroan, from Pyroan's team, from the PPP, but Team DS able to clutch up, able to secure those late game team fights. Great engages by Wukong. Great damage coming in from Vex, just layered all over the top there. And then in the late game, Sivir, doing those AoE 80 carry things. Alright, we are able to see this at least. It's all pretty, no pictures over here, so I don't know what's going on with Riot. But, yeah, Sivir at the end there, 32,000. A lot of Vex's damage was happening in that mid game. Camille with a lot of side lane pressure that game. We are on to game number 2. Continue as spectator. It looks like draft has not started yet. I will leave this up. I believe they need to make a new lobby. At least my team has constantly been making new lobbies, so if we don't need, well, the other team has been making new lobbies. My team has been sitting there like passenger princesses. It has been absolutely chill. Okay, a little bit of confusion figuring out if we need a new lobby or the same lobby. The website is broke, so we are just staying in this lobby. We can't apparently, so we just stay same lobby. Sounds great. Alright, no new lobbies. I'm sure that this They were talking a little bit about Riot API acting weird today, and I'm sure this will affect the stats. But what this won't affect is this live cast. Ah, there's no muffin emote, is there? Cupcake? There is. I'm dropping a cupcake. Alright, dropped a message in chat, so hopefully they don't wait for me. Because honestly, even if I wasn't ready, we have a couple extra minutes after they start the game for me to talk about drafts, so I will 100% be ready by then. Oh, looks like we do have draft going. And I will switch us over to the drafting screen. Make sure I'm on game 2. I am. Looks like Team DS, or Team PPP, opting to stay blue side. No. Team PPP opting to stay blue side. Team DS staying red side this game. I do think we also banned Belveth for at least one, maybe two of the games against DS. That being said, I don't remember any of my other bans against PPP or DS, so I'm just going to assume these are all great bans. Actually, we did ban Italy against Pyroan. I remember that. So, yep, I'm going to assume these are all great bans. Graves first pick for Pyroan. Probably going to Pyroan. I have seen a little bit of Graves laning, but, you know, for the most part, primarily a jungler still. Jarvan getting picked as an answer to Graves. Vel'Koz pick. I love Vel'Koz. I think that champion right now is criminally underrated. It is not a mobile champion, so you do need to watch out for getting picked out, whether you are AD carry, support, or mid lane with it. You do need to watch out for that. But you do have the Jarvan on your team, so as long as you can stay away from Graves' smokescreen, you are relatively safe on Vel'Koz. Looks like we do have a Varus answer. Strong champion. Hope to see it in the bot lane. Believe we'll see it in the bot lane too. I don't believe blue side. I don't believe that Muffin Man is a Varus top player. One of the reasons why we like him. And we do have a Kiana pick coming out. Oh, no, never mind. We have a Hui pick. Hui able to outrange the Vel'Koz. Does make Vel'Koz's life pretty hard. If Vel'Koz ever posts up for an R, can hit him with a QW. We do have a Rel coming out as well. So I'm curious what the bans are going to be. If I'm them, I'm looking to ban a Braum, as he's normally pretty good into engages. They do ban the Shen. That makes sense as well. You don't want to be starting a fight in the bot lane and all of a sudden the Shen shows up from the other side of the map. Or even worse, the Shen shield shows up and Shen still is able to lane top lane, doesn't end up missing out on anything. But we just won't run into that situation. No Shen this game. Do have a Jin ban. That is currently an 80 carry. A Galio ban as well. I do believe Galio is... Oh, nope. Switched out for the Silas ban. You know, your team doesn't have the greatest alts for you right now on Silas. They do have Jarvan ult, which would be a pain for Vel'Koz. And I guess Rel ult is actually really annoying, come to think of it. You cannot move in Rel ult, so if you're trying to play a range character and there's a Silas with a Rel ult on top of you, that does become just an absolute pain. Hard to move. We have a Malphite ban as well, trying to stop an easy Wombo combo from coming out to the side of Team DS. Curious what their pick will be. Looks like it is the Misfortune, which is great that they banned the Malphite, because a Malphite layered right on top of this would be an incredible Wombo combo. Malphite engage into Jarvan Rel follow up with Vel'Koz laser over the top and Misfortune volley over the top as well. But there will not be a Malphite this game. We do have Alistar coming out. Pretty good pick into Rel. I do believe that as disengage, Rel is not... If Alistar plays as disengage really well, it's hard for Rel to engage. Seeing as out when Rel tries to jump in, you can Alistar Q it, or you can Alistar W it away from your carry. We do have the top lane pick coming in as well. Rumble Hover, but decided to stick with Ornn. I like the Ornn here. Gives them some good non-committal engage, because every time they engage with Alistar, they are looking to commit. Meanwhile, if they engage with Ornn onto like a Vel'Koz, and all of a sudden the engage doesn't look good, Vel'Koz flashes away, Misfortune flashes away, anything like that, they can just all walk away. No one needs to commit their lives for it. We do have the Yone answer into Ornn. I do like Ornn and, you know, more of the resistance tanks into champions that are Borg builders or Liandry's builders, so there's potential for it to play out both ways, especially in the early game. Later on in the game, though, the Yone will outscale the Ornn on side lane. I did tell both the teams I was R for everything, so just want to make sure that they know that, they are aware. Yeah. So the Yone will provide great side lane pressure. It'll be hard for Ornn to be sent into him. It'll be hard for Hui to be sent into him. Really, your best bet is if Graves is in the area with Ornn there, trying to create a little gank on him, but if he does that, you know, there could be cross-map plays going on at the same time. So we'll see. We'll see. DS comp cooked. I love DS's comp. Yeah, they don't have the Malphite over top, but they do still have the Jarvan engage and Rel engage. And now instead of a Malphite R over top, you know, to really kick things off, they have the Yone ult to help keep them grouped as well. And Vel'Koz and Misfortune just raining down their R buttons as well. It is a great comp. I forgot to turn on the score. I just realized that, so let me do that really quick. Oh. And I will do that on the in-game stream. Oh, there was a lot of chatting going on that I don't get to see anymore. Maybe it'll pop up when we're in spectator timeout. I hope it will. But yeah, I agree. I do think they have better team fight. They have better side lane. I'd say the one thing is I think Graves and Hui outscale as carries
Confuse cowardice for wisdom.
if they don't get caught in those combos. It'll be hard for Hui and Graves to not get caught in those combos, but if they're left alone free hitting,
That could happen.
I think that they will just pump out a little bit more damage than Team DS's side. That being said, I like Team DS's comp more. I'd give them it's not like they're lacking damage or anything. I just Hui damage is a little bit ridiculous every time I get hit by it. Yes. Yep. I agree there. Yep. It's a good way of saying it. PPP and those champs outscale in quotation marks, but Team DS comp scales better. Not only does it scale better, there's an ease of use to it, and honestly, when you're in a game, ease of use is a big factor for it. For it's not something that's calculated in scaling, and I'm using air quotes on all these. But there is something to it of just going, okay, hey, we need to press R on these characters. If these characters die, we win the fight. Versus having to smoke screen certain areas or having to do a piano recital to drop a Hui combo somewhere. So there is that ease of use, which means even if you're thinking about where the Baron is or how you're going to set up Baron, and all of a sudden you see someone appear magically on your screen on your walk over to Baron, your buttons kind of press themselves. Well, just going to keep this screen up, that way everyone can see the spectator delay. Oh, chat, have you guys seen the game Bondle? Pretty sure we got 2-minute delay. Yeah, waiting for spectator delay. Just want to make sure I see the time. Alright, it'll be about 3 minutes. Alright. It shows champion animations. Yeah, I think you're right. Not brand. Gonna slow it down a little bit. Should be able to click between, yeah. Who else could that be? You think that's Trundle? And that's like a pillar summon, and that's like him lifting up the pillar? I'm gonna rip the Trundle guess. Since it wasn't brand. It's not. Who dances like... Oh! I know who this is. This is Gangplank. That's a barrel. That's his R. That's his dance. I know the Gangplank dance anywhere. Love playing this champion in ARAM Mayhems. See that right there is barrel. Barrel. You can hear it now that you see him. Still got 148. Just gonna re-roll one randomly, endless mode. Who runs like this? Who runs with both of their... I say both their swords, but they could just be holding something. Who runs like... Oh! I don't... Is that how Willump runs with the snowball? That's true. It is literally me, but I'm literally Gangplank, so yeah, I eat oranges and get rid of my scurvy. I'm gonna type Nulu. I don't think it is. It's not. Oh, I've seen this. Oh, this is Lucian. That's his alt. Taunt. I never realized how much bigger one of Lucian's guns is than the other. Which one's Senna's gun? Any lore knowers? Oh, I can zoom in. Nice. Vermilion, are you a lore knower? Which one of these is Senna's? "20 seconds. Alright, no. That's fine. Me neither. This is... Oh, this is his alt? What's this one then? That's just his alt at a different angle? You know, from this angle, he's almost hitting a dab. Just needs to look straight forward and could be dabbing. Alright, we're in game. Enough of that. Let me make sure I update the score here. DS going into this game up 1-0. My screen stuck in the loading screen. Alright. Alright, we're in game.
Their hearts right out of their chest. Literally.
Check the timers on. Zoomed out a little bit. Slouch is playing Vel'Koz mid. Does have the barriers, so
Just what I've
Biscuit
always
Boy
wanted.
has a chance of getting tempo advantages with the teleport. Mavs did opt in for the teleport. Makes sense. Ornn is very much just a farm lane. Same with Ornn opting in for the teleport. Both of them looking to farm. Both of them looking to use their teleport effectively. Mavs stuck between an Ornn and a Grave. Ornn just does get a little bit of a free trade here. Meanwhile, Pyroan looking for the invade. Biscuit Boy also getting a little bit of free poke here before lane starts. Slouch was able to drop a ward, so they do know where Graves is starting, and Jarvan is starting on the enemy Raptors. There is an Alistar coming up, though. Empirical with no support here in the lane. Glonk. I love listening to Ornn sounds. I could fall asleep to just different Ornn audio cues, mainly being brittle. Love that champion. Graves going for the Raptors into Krugs, potentially looking for red buff as well. Nope, doesn't look for red buff, says I've gotten enough. Looks to leave. Meanwhile, Graves was able to get Raptors, working on the red buff right now. Nope, J4 going back for the red buff. Maybe they were looking at a play down bot side, but very smartly just goes back to his red buff and says, hey, got to make sure I match camps with Graves. Don't want him to get 2 red buffs, me to get 0. Looks like we do have split map. Muffin Man or Pyroan getting the top half of the map. Lucifer getting the bottom half of the map. Great trade from Mavs. Not quite able to take down Muffin Man, but very close. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Slouch able to land the knock up onto Hui. Jarvan did show up for a little gank there, not able to blow anything, but able to give Slouch some extra lane pressure. Slouch does have a health advantage now. Mana pools, Biscuit Boys is larger, but at this point I think Slouch is still large enough to keep applying lane pressure. And talking about pressure, J-Rod and Velociraptor pushing the entire time this lane has been going. Their jungler has the entire bottom side of the map, so they know they're safe doing this. Muffin Man brought very low by Mabs. Mabs does have Q3, able to escape the Pyroan gank here as well. Sticks around. He's not in any danger of dying, so he decides to keep playing it out. Looks like Jarvan is going for his Krugs. Pyroan is in the top side. Probably won't be contesting, but he is up there. Okay. Jarvan did go just to double check, make sure that he wasn't going to contest. Catalyst Tau looking at J-Rod and Velociraptor. They do have level 4 to Team DS is level 3 right now. Able to hit level 4, matching levels now. Alistar looking for roam potentially. Don't know if it's roam or if he's just checking out to make sure Jarvan isn't in his jungle. Looks like it was just a quick Jarvan check. Don't spot out Jarvan, and he is here on the next wave. Now we're back to farming. J-Rod looking forward, trying to land a Q, not able to land it on the Alistar. Alistar engaged though is landing onto Misfortune. Misfortune forced to use the flash, does survive, but now is flashless for the next 5 minutes. We'll see if that comes back to Punisher. Mabs just hit level 6. Looking to fight Muffin Man to the death. Muffin Man's E does get cancelled by the Yone R. Muffin Man goes into a bush, hides, able to escape the vision, presses R, gets the brittle proc, and just bursts down the Ornn, or the Yone there. Well played by Muffin Man. I thought for sure Mabs was going to get a kill there. Not only did Mabs not get the kill, Muffin Man got one. Dragon is up. Looks like we have the Rel following the Jarvan here, looking to set up some vision, looking to move with the Jarvan, make sure that Jarvan doesn't get caught out. Does go back to the banana bush to reset. Jarvan walks up a little further, does get hit by a Graves combo. Oh, reset canceled again. Graves went over the wall to just start the dragon. Catalyst Tau looking to engage on the Rel. Jarvan is right in the area. Rel says, "You want me in? I'll go in." Jarvan follows up. They're able to take down the Graves, but Jarvan goes down as well. Meanwhile, Slouch showed up. They're able to kill the Alistar, but you know, Slouch forced a barrier. I believe that Jarvan went down and Rel went down for 2 for 2, I think. The 2 for 3. Just gonna go back real quick and watch this fight. There were a couple of different fights going on at once. There's the engage initially, as we talked about, with them looking onto Rel and Rel saying sure. The Ignite was dropped. Empirical was there, not quite able to get the kill. And there, when Vel'Koz went up or pressed R, a lot of spells were dropped on him, but Vel'Koz was able to barrier and get away. And the Varus did go down to the Rel, both of them using their flashes. Let's speed up a little bit here. Oh, I missed a kill. I gotta be careful with the speed up button. That's on me. Sorry, chat. Looks like Slouch was just trying to push in this one more wave. And does just get hit by QW from Hui. Well done, a biscuit boy. Engage coming out onto Misfortune. Early barrier. A lot of stuns coming out on Misfortune, though. Misfortune presses R. Catalyst Tau forced to back off. He only has level 5. Doesn't have the Unbreakable Will yet. Meanwhile, Varus did use the ult. Alistar goes down to Misfortune. Varus also goes down to Misfortune. Well played from DS's bot lane. They got engaged on, but they turned it to their advantage. Jarvan setting up for grubs. Does have both of his lanes, solo lanes pushing. So he does have prio in both of those lanes. You know that earlier fight for Dragon, the one that ended up being 3 for 2, no one ended up getting the Dragon. It's still up. It is 8.5 minutes into the game. Dragon's still available. Looks like Hex Flash coming out from the Alistar trying to run down the Misfortune, but Misfortune does have a good amount of movement speed and is able to get away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Hui running away from the Rel, running towards the Graves. Pyroan getting comboed by Rel, does get hit by the Vel'Koz E. Lands his ult between his ult and Hui ult. They bring Vel'Koz really low, but Vel'Koz is able to survive and now has an angle to press R. They're able to kill the Graves. Kill credit goes over to Jarvan. Here comes Misfortune. Varus is here, Misfortune is here. Jarvan went in. Rel also went in. I mean, when you're playing Rel, you go in. Does trade his life for Varus's life, but that's a trade that Rel is more than happy with. Nope. Looks like Graves is looking at the dragon potentially. Did walk around the long way. Not sure if what happened to his E there. I know if it's me, I miss the easiest E's on all my champions. Just look at my Renekton sometimes. Graves was able to sneak the dragon that they'd been fighting for so long. Rel looking forward. Rel looking onto the Graves. Graves forced to flash away from the Jarvan EQ combo. Alistar coming out onto Rel. Able to take her down with the help of Varus, but Varus goes down to the Misfortune and the Vel'Koz on the side. Another incredibly even game here so far. 500 gold lead only. Looks like we have one item on both the junglers. Neither of the top laners have their item completed yet. Hui has an item. I believe Vel'Koz, after reset here, will have his item completed as well. Misfortune doing the Bloodthirster rush. And Varus trying to get some sustain as well with the sustain boots. The Gluttonous Greaves. And Static Shiv, which does now apply the on-hit on the lightning bounces. Does apply on-hits on the lightning bounces. That should include the Varus passive stacks. Looks like we missed. This is my broadcast. We messed up setting the title up, and you know what? Not gonna go back and try to press buttons and potentially mess up the stream. So the title's in the description for this one. Ganked by BL Twitch. Okay, y'all missed a banger. The first game was incredibly close. DS was able to out-team fight Team PPP in the late game. But even those team fights, they were getting close. They were getting dicey. It was well played from both teams. Did not hear that. Mavs looking to get away here. Did go forward, but there is Pyro in there. Able to use the ult. Get back. Does get Ornn ulted, but able to survive, and survives Pyroan's Graves ult. Meanwhile, Jarvan was in the bush. It was a trap the entire time. Jarvan looking to finish off the Ornn here. They were able to get the Graves. Rel MF combo coming out onto the bot lane of Team PPP. Team DS bot lane able to secure another couple of kills. IQ luck finally ran out. No more Lucker Dog streak for them. Biscuit Boy lives on probably 10 HP. Slouch's laser not quite finishing him off. That was very close. Yeah, Team DS's team fighting these last game was really good. Pyroan looking for a gank here onto Vel'Koz. Jarvan is here in the area. Vel'Koz does get hit by the Hwei ultimate. That should be a decent amount of damage. They're able to force the Vel'Koz away. But Jarvan was also able to survive and enters his bot side jungle. So 2v2 ended up with no one getting anything. Don't know why we saw 2 MFEs there, but you know. Looked weird. Meanwhile in top lane, Mavs able to build up a little bit more of a lead here. Able to force Muffin Man off of the turret. I don't know exactly what the XP advantage is, but Mavs is level 12. Ornn is level 11. Velociraptor. Yeah, that is a goated name. Looks like we have DS's bot lane that we're talking about. Engaging onto PPP's bot lane, but Pyroan is also there helping out Team PPP. Mavs teleporting in, using his ult, not able to land his ult, but the gap closer was enough. He was able to get onto the Varus. Meanwhile, the Alistar also went down. Pyroan able to escape the Jarvan ultimate, so the MF, he was not stuck in place for the MF ult to get too much damage onto him. Pyroan is looking at Slouch here. Velociraptor able to back off. They were able to secure turret, not first turret. First turret was already taken by Mavs, but they are able to get their turret, get their reset off, and then they should be opening up mid. Pyroan, little surprise attack onto Slouch. There's a smoke screen. Pyroan and Biscuit Boy able to take down Slouch right as Dragon spawned. That was a good little trap set up by Pyroan. Team PPP has been setting up great traps between the two games. While Dragon goes down, looks like Rift Herald is going down to Team DS, so even though they lost Drag, they're able to get something on the other side of the map. Maybe they're looking for more here. Mavs starting to fight Muffin Man. Muffin Man getting knocked up by Mavs Q3 and by the Jarvan EQ combo. Able to barely survive long enough for the E pullback from Yone, but does go down to the Jarvan who's still standing there. Jarvan just smites the Gromp right in Pyroan's face. Oh, Jarvan misses the EQ combo to escape. Mavs ult not quite able to land on anyone, but he as a gap closer, got him right in Pyroan's face. Pyroan lived at about 150 health. Does go down to a flash EQR from Jarvan. Meanwhile, Empirical able to take, I guess, Catalyst Tau got the kill credit onto the Jarvan, but Empirical was able to do a lot of damage, almost take down the Jarvan. However, Empirical and Catalyst Tau were taken down in that fight as well. Muffin Man ult coming out onto the Yone. Wait, able to get the kill credit. Shutdown going to Hui, which is where you want your shutdown. Yep, looks like he did get Frozen Heart, which makes sense against his lane opponent. Just gives you the biggest buff. I don't think that they buffed MF ult range. Remember that, was it one patch or was it a lot of patches where you could Gale Force after you set up your MF ult? And the range got all wonky with it. Gale Force. What an item. I'm happy that's gone. Really happy Prowler's Claw is also gone. Catalyst Tau and J-Rod fighting over some wards in the bushes, but Velociraptor is there to help J-Rod, and they're able to push Catalyst Tau out. Velociraptor, though, forced to flash several patches, yeah. Those are some funny visuals. Velociraptor was forced to flash there. There were a couple of people on MF's screen. MF does not like that. Jarvan ripping the Rift Herald, probably just hitting mid lane. But Hui did set up the EW there to root the Jarvan as he came out, and the rest of the team showed up. Were able to burst him. Jarvan does go down. Meanwhile, Rel is looking for an engage. There's a Rel ult layered with the MF ult and the Vel'Koz laser. They able to take down the Alistar, but Rel also went down. They were also able to get Muffin Man's flash and Biscuit Boy's flash as well. Yeah, Proto Belt still exists. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, and I like that item. So call me biased, but you know, I think it's all right. I think it's strong right now, for sure. Just gives a lot of CDR, a lot of stats for its cost right now. They could probably increase the cost there a little bit.
Oops, my finger slipped.
Looks like the lane assignments got a little confused. Slouch and Mabs both going towards the same lane. Turns out Mabs was just there for the red buff. Says, I don't know what the AD carry is thinking, but this is the top laner's red buff. Does teleport down. Next objective, I guess Baron is up, but the next objective to spawn here is Dragon in 20 seconds. Vel'Koz looking to rotate over. The entire team of PPP pushing into the river and into the blue of Team DS. Biscuit Boy dropping a combo, pressing R, landing onto the Jarvan. Slouch walking a little too far forward, does get flashed on by Pyroan, does survive the initial burst, but Varus is there to finish him off. Meanwhile, Ornn ult lands onto MF. Ooh, I don't know if the combo got interrupted or if he just messed it up, but does headbutt the MF away. Mabs tries going in, but Pyroan and Varus are able to take him down. The root landing on the Hui root, landing onto MF. They're able to kill her under turret as well. Oh, it's Jinjo. No E. Is it QE? Or EQ. No, that's not EQ. EQ is the fear. It's EW, right? If I messed up saying a way spell, you know what? It's way. There's a lot of little options there. I know it's an E1 because it's a CC ability. Oh, there's a Static Shiv proc. It is Static Shiv Duskendon, so AP Varus. Curious how this build is going to work or gonna hold up. I do know AP Varus is strong in the top lane, unfortunately. Oh, okay.
Money in my pocket.
Oh, there's the R coming out onto Misfortune. Looks like they are able to burst the Misfortune down before Empirical dies. They did use both the Varus ult and the Ornn ult, but they were able to kill. Big team fight damage for the side of DS. EW is zoning, yeah. Okay. EE is the claws. Yeah, the jaws of life. You know, when I said claws, my mind instantly thought of Shutterwalk. The claws that bite. Or is that what he says? I don't remember. Looks like we have a fight breaking out. Catalyst Tau looking onto the Vel'Koz. Does drop very low. Does go down to the Vel'Koz. You know, damage reduction is great, but you can't reduce true damage coming out from the Vel'Koz laser there. Mab's getting a good trade onto Muffin Man. Looks like they're about even on that trade, but Mabs does have better sustain. Pyroan does walk up, finds a Jarvan, says, "What are you doing in my jungle?" Shoots him a couple times with a shotgun, but Jarvan is able to get out of there with EQ combo. A lot of fighting going on for some vision down here. Next drag is in 2 minutes 30 seconds. Ooh, the scuttle barely. Oh, the scuttle is Faker. Oh no, camera pan away. Able to survive at 47 HP and then dodges the next Q coming out from the Jarvan. Somebody hire that scuttle right there. Oh. Oh yeah, don't you know. Hit him with the jukes. Pyroan looking to invade Team DS's top side here. He's standing on the way there. Jarvan walking right into Pyroan. Pyroan, boom. Big crit right there. Collector IE, I'm assuming that was the 50% he hit. Now he's in a bad spot. Slouch and Mabs both collapsing onto him. Does flash over a wall. Mabs ults to follow. Laser comes out. Shutdown goes down to Varus, but the Vel'Koz was caught out by Team PPP's bot lane there. Big shutdown went over to the Yone, but current pressure is on the side of Team PPP. Looks like Ornn ult coming out, landing onto Misfortune. Rel not able to do anything other than watch as Misfortune goes down. And real quick check, Yone did get an extra 500 gold from the Graves kill. Looks like Team PPP turning onto the Baron here. They do have 3 dragons. Next dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. Pyroan himself running up there as fast as he can. Still 15 seconds on the next drag spawn. They are getting their resets off. Pyroan is running towards the dragon. I'm curious if he will get caught out here. He does stop to push midwave. Looks forward. There's a Rel in the bush. They saw the Rel. Did not get caught out on his way over, which is great. Team TS able to get the scuttle crab. Able to see all the vision around the dragon here. They're setting up. This is soul point for Team PPP. Should be a big team fight here. Team PPP getting the mid lane push going. They have Baron buff, so they're okay slow playing this as long as they get mid pressure the entire time. Oh, big engage from the Rel. Followed up. Ornn ult canceled by the Yone ult. Jarvan ult right on top of them. Muffin Man also goes down. They're able to take down Muffin Man. They're able to take down Varus. They're able to take down Graves. They're able to take down Alistar. Only one left is Hui over the wall, trying his best to put down some damage. He is able to kill the Jarvan. Is he able to get away? He's kind of stuck in a bad place here. Doesn't have flash anymore. Mabs did get pulled back by his E. Slouch and Mabs were able to finish the dragon there. That is their first dragon. And most importantly, Team PPP not able to secure Soul. Very well played by Team DS. Mabs was able to cancel the Muffin Man, the Ornn R2, which was vital to keeping Misfortune alive and able to play the game there. Misfortune wasn't quite able to layer her ult on top of the rest of them. I believe that she was fighting off, I think it was Graves, not entirely sure. But she was fighting her own battle there. But the Yone ult, the Jarvan ult, and the Vel'Koz laser were enough to take down the majority of the team there. And this is what we were talking about pre-game where, yes, Graves has scaled incredibly well. Yes, Hui has scaled incredibly well. Catalyst out looking onto Velociraptor. They're able to completely burst down Misfortune before she even gets to play the game. Pyroan caught in the Jarvan ult, but he's not stuck in there with you. You're stuck in there with him. Able to win out that exchange. Jarvan is able to survive, but Pyroan gets the push, gets the turret, and it stays on the map. Alright, what was I saying? Yes, this is just like we were talking about pre-game. Vermilion and I, with, yes, the Graves scaling. Yes, the Hui scaling. But the team fight scaling, is in the favor of Team DS, and that last team fight, I think, shows it. Where if they are able to layer their abilities, they're able to win the team fight, even though a couple of the champions on Team PPP do scale better than the champions on Team DS. Pyroan gets his back canceled by Mabs. Mabs gets pulled away by E. Pyroan, upset, looking to chase down Mabs. Does decide to go into... Nope, is coming for Mabs. Muffin Man here to set up the engage. Mabs uses his ult. Looking like he's going to be able to get out. Pyroan drops a lot of damage, able to get the shield bow. Flashes forward, able to get the kill while Muffin Man is tanking the turret. No objectives up on the other side of the map, so there's not much for Team DS to get off of that. They are able to get the turret though. They get bottom or top tier 2. I didn't realize it was that low. I did see Biscuit Boy clear the wave incredibly fast, but the turret itself was about one touch away from dying. So Jarvan was able to get that little cash influx. We have a minute 20 on the next drag. Gonna do a quick gold check. Yone is up about 3k gold, 3.5k gold. That's kind of what we expected. Yone will outscale the Ornn here on side. Ornn does have all 5 of his ornaments out though, so that is 5k worth of value that Ornn is providing that isn't shown on the gold screen itself. Pyroan walking into the bot lane of Team DS, but able to walk away, does not get hit by the Rel Q stun. Being said, midwave does go down. Looks like they are engaging onto Rel. Rel able to W away. Meanwhile, Ornn hits a 2-person ultimate, hits a 2-person knockup. Oh, Varus ult going a little wide here. Headbutt from Alistar, redirecting the Yone ult. Yone ult still landing on 2 of them, but Hui is able to get an ult off onto Misfortune. Misfortune goes down to the Hui. Pyroan dies, comes back to life, dies again. And Varus died as well there during that fight. To the Yone, I believe. I believe it was the Yone Jarvan getting on top of him. But very, very well fought by Team DS. A little bit awkward at first, what with the headbutt knocking back or displacing the Yone ult. That is a weird ability that can. Looks like they're running straight over to drag. There's a Hui on their way. Hui able to use the portal to get out. But Yone ult being a weird ability that can be displaced. You see it not a lot, but you do see it with like Silas's that are using Yone ult if they buffer their E before their Yone ult comes out. Oh! Soul goes over the way of Team PPP. The burn. It's weird that chat says the red team has claimed Hextech Soul. The blue team did. But the burn from Hui QW able to secure the soul for Team PPP. I believe the smite was barely off, but it did leave it at 1 HP with the little jungle pet burn. And 1 HP dies to burn. So now Team PPP has Hextech Soul. It will be very hard to disengage from them with the amount of slows that they have. I was talking about Yone ult though. We saw it last team fight. If the headbutt is able to put it at a weird angle again, that could be a winning play for Team DS. Pyroan standing there trying to catch out Mabs on his way to mid lane. Able to catch out Mabs on his way to mid lane. That's a lot of side lane pressure down on the side of Team DS. They do have Baron buff, but not for much longer, I believe. Looks like Team DS is trying to collapse here on PPP on the bottom side of the jungle. J-Rod not quite able to jump over that wall. Maybe able to survive though. Looks like he's looking for a Hex Flash angle, but Misfortune does go down to the Hui. Yep, J-Rod was able to Hex Flash out of there. I love Hex Flash, one of my, probably my favorite summoner in the game. Actually, I lied. Snowball's my favorite summoner in the game. Hex Flash is my second favorite summoner in the game. Quick gold check update. 4K gold lead in the top lane by Mabs. Answered by a 3.5K gold lead by Graves in the jungle. 4K, almost 4.5K gold lead by Hui in the mid lane. Looks like the bot laners are just about dead even. 200 gold separates them. That's not even a long sword. And in the bot lane, 400 gold separates them, so it's a ruby crystal, but they're also both supports, so it's probably just sitting in their inventories. Yeah, it looks like 400 gold. Both of them have 400 gold in their inventories. So, you know, a couple more pink wards. Muffin Man potentially getting engaged on. The Volcanic Shield gets destroyed by the Rel Q. Orn does go down. Rel looking to continue this fight, engages on Pyroan and Empirical. Mabs able to get on Empirical and Pyroan. Pyroan goes down. Got a lot of damage off though. And Empirical able to finish off the rest of Team DS. Velociraptor wouldn't have gotten there in time. Decided to keep pushing mid. Gets mid tier 2. Very well played by Empirical. I know I said Mabs got on Empirical and Muffin Man, but I was wrong. It was onto Pyroan and Muffin Man. Empirical was able to stand far away enough that Q3 was not able to land on him, so even as Graves was dying, as Orn was dying, he was able to stand there and get some free hits onto the Yone. And they were able to take that then and finish off the rest of the enemies and get a winning fight. Looks like we have a little bit of fight here for Vision. Looks like GA is back off of cooldown for Pyro in this fight. Catalyst Town not quite in range to WQ, does just press the Q there. Muffin Man ult not able to hit anyone there. There's the slow just being annoyed from Hextech Soul. Jarvan wasn't on anyone, but he was close enough to the wave that he just gets randomly slowed there. Catalyst Tau and Muffin Man both looking at J-Rod on Rel, but J-Rod is very tanky and they've learned they don't want to engage onto the tank here, not with none of their teammates nearby at the very least. Well, looks like Pyroan and Empirical were able to take down the Baron while everyone was looking here at Muffin Man. Great combo from Pyroan, able to just one-shot the Vel'Koz there. Meanwhile, Jarvan put people in a cage. MF started pressing R to try to melt them all, but Biscuit Boy just flashed, full combos the MF, and down she goes instantly there. We have 5v2 and Baron buff. This is looking like it's game. Looks like they are pushing down. They got the inhib turrets. Mavs still alive. Jarvan still alive. Mavs no longer alive. Jarvan also no longer alive. Nexus no longer alive. Yeah, no, Biscuit Boy played that game very well. Never really let MF breathe. Also, you know, got a lot of good end of the team fight kills onto the Jarvan, onto the Vel'Koz. I probably should have looked at those stats, but someone will send them in, hopefully. And let me update the score real quick here. Oh, that's the seed. Oh, true. Also stole Soul. I forgot about that. That is the only reason they got Soul there. The QW putting pressure. Jarvan just missing the smite and the burn being applied is what gave them the Soul there. Yeah. Yeah, no, they were able to sneak Baron. While teams are still fighting for mid lane pressure, the Varus and the Graves are able to sneak the Baron there. They tried to, they couldn't really get walk past the Ornn. Ornn was acting as a great meat shield. And then post Baron, they were able to catch out they were able to catch out everyone except for Mavs and Jarvan, and just walk down the base with Baron buff. We are waiting on Biscuit Boy to get done shredding chicken. Okay. Don't know what to respond to that. Looks like Team DS opting to stay red side. Check my friend request. I'm scared though. Is this a never meet your heroes kind of situation? Nah, always meet your heroes. They never disappoint you. Bro is meal prepping at 11:30. Yeah, he is. He's shredding chicken at 11:30 p.m. Alright, well, I guess while we're waiting on the shredded chicken, we're reopening up more Bondel. I guess let me get this over to game 3. Yeah. And then we're going to open up more Bondel. Next. Is this just Jin? Has a gun, fires it like a cannon. Gotta be Jin, right? Yo, Chad, it wasn't Jin. Who is this? I'm a Pokemon fan, and I'm willing to rip some Staddle. But first, I gotta figure out who's got a big old cannon like this that isn't Jin. They are only one team. Oh, no, they're banning. I'm coming back to this. No, it's not Jin. But I'm coming back to that after draft. We'll figure it out. Who's got a cannon? It's bothering me now. Oh, it could be. We'll have to check after. That does kind of, yeah, the way he's holding the gun. I see the angle. Believe these are the same bans from both teams. So bans staying consistent all series long. Eric sent out Aphelios. We'll see, but I do like the action shout, so we'll check that first. We have Leona first pick. Ezreal. Good answer to Leona. Hard to get on top of the Ezreal. Ezreal does struggle a little bit killing tanks. If you're able to land enough QWs, maybe you're able to kill them. Also, I believe AP Ezreal got buffed this patch, so we'll see if he does the build from last patch or if he slots in a couple of new items here. Braum, another good answer into engage. Braum has great disengage. Really good into Leona. You can engage onto your AD carry, but Braum's shield will prevent Smolder's damage from getting onto Ezreal. Ezreal, Braum. Ezreal, while he does have a lot of poke, and Braum, while he does have good disengage, they don't really click forward in the lane, so Smolder looking to take advantage of that and get some free scaling from this lane. Shen for their top side. Makes a lot of sense here. Shen has been getting banned out in the round 2 of bans. On top of that, Shen Very solid laner. And right now, it looks like you are setting up a great Protect the Smolder comp. Vigar blind picked as well, because I don't imagine that that is into the Shen in the top lane. Slouch, so far, I guess he does like those control mages, so fits with everything else we've been seeing. A couple more jungle bans coming out from Team DS. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn on the drafter overlay. And I realize now I had it on game 1 last game as well, so a little bit of scuff, but honestly, nothing new. It is a very nice overlay, though. It has a little swirl in the middle that keeps moving to keep us all interested. I'll talk with Simi no Mas about getting some Candy Crush or Subway Surfers to play on the screen, though. Anyways, bans. Couple jungle bans from the side of Team DS. Couple top lane bans from the side of PPP. That is Zahen. Some of the pictures aren't loading up. I've noticed that it is some of the newer champions. Yunara and Mbessa did not load up earlier in Game 1. Zahen Splash not showing up here, but I do see the word right here, Zahen. Zahen struggles a little bit into the early game. Shen does have a good early game, but if Zahen is able to survive, he will be an absolute monster coming into these mid and late game team fights. Looks like we do have a Taliyah. Potentially Taliyah jungle. Maybe Taliyah mid. Taliyah does outrange Vigar, so I think that it would be good into mid. Looks like it is Taliyah jungle. Malo? Orianna? They're deciding. One of those two. They're deciding, unless they throw in a secret third option. Alright, we did settle on the Mel. Mel is able to reflect the Braum ultimate, able to reflect the Ezreal ultimate, able to reflect the Vigar ultimate. Looks like it's pretty good in this situation. Mel also outranges the Vigar and has decent setup with the E into the Vigar ganks, or into the Skarner ganks. Skarner getting picked here. They did want a tank. Alright, responded on the chat, letting them know I'm ready. They do want a tank. I see them wanting some engage. We'll see how the Skarner goes. I feel like Skarner will be pretty hard to play into Taliyah and Mel. It'll be hard to get onto Smolder, but if you can find some creative angles through the wall, you might be able to make it work.
You are right.
Overall,
Hear
in
me.
terms of team comps, I do like DS's team comp here a little bit more than PPP's. That being said, it really will come down to how the Skarner engages look, because Skarner, it will be hard to engage onto Taliyah and Mel. Both of them have pretty good abilities to stop you in your E.
For wisdom.
But we will see how this comes out. And in the meantime, I'm typing Action. It was.
Ah, come on.
Sometimes the model gets
What's
a little
the
messed
worst
up.
that could happen?
That is E. Yeah, that's Z. And I can't tell what this is. Did he just die? He might have just died. We'll rip some Staddle, though, pretty soon here. Oh, you know what? I was saying that. Y'all didn't see Action just die. Yeah. So that's his E, just swinging around. And then this was the last animation. And I can't tell what it is. It looks like he just died. It says turn L90. Sometimes the animations are a little bit cooked here. But but he just looks like I don't think you're supposed to be folded like that.
You can't cage me for long.
So you said Staddle? Guess the Pokemon stats. Meowth. Wait. Am I supposed to... I think I messed that up. New game, new game. Click to stop. Am I supposed to click the highest? What am I supposed to click or type it here? Huh. Pretty sure his HP is high. Try to max out the total. I get 6. Oh! Oh, okay, okay. I get 6. Try to max out the total. I'm pretty sure HP is the right choice there. Could have been a little higher. Yeah, it turns out it did have a little bit more special attack. I thought since it was a starter, it'd be one of those, like, it's not actually as strong as you think it is. But 110 special attack is respectable. We're about to go into our spectator delay here. Alolan, Diglett, gotta be high speed. They're really frail. I think they have pretty piss poor attack. I'll strip the speed. Yeah, 90, that's respectable. A little slower than Garchomp and all that, but you know. Not everyone can be base 102 speed. Braxian, gotta rip the special attack here. Partially because I think the only other decent stat is special defense. Alright, 114. There we go. Little bit more damage than Skeledirge. I think it has a pretty low attack, but I know it has pretty low the other stuff. Yeah, 81. Nothing special. Really, the only special thing is Gale Winds. I'm happy that that thing is nerfed to... Ooh, Ting-Lu. Ting-Lu, is it both bulks that are really high, or is it just the special defense? Or is it the defense? I forgot on Ting-Lu. I think it's a special defense, because I want to say Vessel of Ruin lowers the special attack of all things on the field. So I think it's ripped the special defense. No, I chose wrong. It's ripped the defense. And his ability... Oh, Bidoof. Ting-Lu, it's a newer one. Best possible score, 590. Okay. If I had gotten Diglett's speed or attack, I would have gotten Talonflame's speed. Yeah, that's true. And Ting-Lu's HP. Yeah, Ting-Lu is Gen 9, I think. Might be Gen 8. I don't remember exactly some of the newer Gen stuff. But I do see I can filter. Oh, let me filter the other way. I'm just going to choose 1 through 5 because I know all those very well. You know what? We'll throw 6 in there, and I'll go based off vibes if I see a 6. Oh, Zora, Alolan, or not Alolan, Hisuian is a special attacker, but maybe speed because we get high speed numbers. We'll rip that. 85. All of its stats kind of suck. Am I just gonna get fully baby Pokemon? Yeah, I'll rip HP. Probably should have ripped one of the defenses just because the HP numbers get higher than the defenses generally. Holy crap. I'm pretty sure it doesn't even have good attack, because I think when it megas, most of its stats go into attack. Oh, it does have good attack. That's my bad. I disrespected your goat. I thought it was sub 100, and then like it got 80 into attack or something like that when it megas. That's on me. I have mainly baby. What is this? Tyrogue. Ill. I'm pretty sure all these are shit. Yeah, 35s all around, I think. Alright. Keldeo for speed. I hit a good speed. I wasn't too far off my max. I did need the attack from Bayonet. And then I had, if I go special attack and speed, whatever. Whatever, it was a bunch of bozos who showed up. Let's get into this. Let's get ready. Let's turn on the score. 1-1. We're going into game 3 of the match of the week here. Two very close games. I'm at 0%. Notably, Leona Ignite versus Braum Exhaust both fit their playstyle. Smolder did bring the cleanse here. Can cleanse either the Exhaust or can cleanse the Skarner stun on wall, I think. Can walk into cleanse and cage it later on in the game if he needs to, and if he gets caught out by a random Braum passive, we'll be able to cleanse the stun when it eventually comes through. TP from all 4 solo laners this game. Barrier coming out from Ezreal, so I think that my understanding with that is he's not scared of the Leona engage because he has the Braum in lane. Because I do sometimes see cleanse into Leona, but between his buffer and the Braum sitting right on him in lane, should be able to survive. Pyroan has been playing pretty aggressive, has been invading pretty constantly here at the start of the games. We'll see if he does the same thing on Talia. Both teams talking about bedtime. I fully agree with them. Pyroan, I think that Q is just to set up some worked ground. Looks like they do have an early ward here down by the Raptors, so they see Pyroan. They see Pyroan just kind of glancing at them, but nothing really happens there. Pyroan, yeah, so that was for work ground. I don't know what the tech is, but I'm going to believe it. Pyroan has been playing well, and I know he plays Talia jungles, so I'm going to believe the tech. I forgot to zoom out a little bit at the start of the game. Going to do that now and turn on my objective timers. Alright, looks like we have Muffin Man and Mabs fighting it out. Shen does have a great early game. Mabs did opt for the Conqueror rune instead of Grass, so his early game will be a little bit weaker than if he had the Grass rune, but I don't think with Grasp he's able to really contest the Shen anyway. You know, the worst part about going from back-to-back games... Oh, great little trade from Mabs there. Worst part about going back-to-back games is at the end of the game, things are so tense. Action is always happening. You know, you're seeing these big team fights break out. And then you go back to minute 2 in the game. Oh, looks like Catalyst Tau is able to land an E onto Velociraptor. Stun comes out onto Catalyst Tau. They did not have shield available on that engage, so they were able to get a good amount of damage out onto Ezreal, but Ezreal does have a potion. Looks like Smolder matches potions with him. Both of them relatively even health here. Pyroan is bot lane before the Skarner. Great engage coming out from Leona. They're able to land onto Ezreal, but the flip wasn't quite able to do that either. J-Rod goes down. Talia gets the kill credit. Skarner coming out, able to clean up one of the kills there as well. Both Skarner and Ezreal ending this with a kill. And there's where, you know, the Skarner is going to be tough to play. He starts pressing his E. He starts charging at the Talia, but Talia just flips him into his rocks. Now, Mel also was there, and Mel flashed forward to ensure that Skarner died before getting onto Talia there. But it will be tough for... Oh, we have a little spectator bug. It will be tough for Skarner to engage onto Talia. All 4 members of the bot lane died. Ezreal is the only member in either bot lane to get a kill, but Ezreal also has a tier, which is not great for damage. Good for mana sustain. Muffin Man getting a good combo off onto Mavs. A lot of damage there. So that extra gold just keeps Ezreal even. More so than really gets him ahead, since tier is a very good item on him. Looks like they are able to get a Braum stun off onto Leona. Here's the Skarner. Skarner gets the kill on the Ezreal. Ezreal very safe still. Are they going to look for a dive? No, but Ezreal lands a Q looking for a plate. Not quite able to get the plate. Teleports used mid. Teleports used top. Ezreal looking to reset, but Leona looking to cancel him. Does get the cancel off. Ezreal, though, did see Leona coming, so able to walk to safety before he gets engaged on by Leona. Well, looks like we do have a plate going down to the side of Team PPP. Ooh, great Talia gank in the mid lane. Forces out Vigar's flash. Skarner is back here in the bot side again. Looking to keep playing around his bot lane. Keep applying pressure with the Ezreal, with the Braum. Trying to punish Smolder and stop him from scaling. Talia wall. They know Slouch has no flash. Great Talia gank. Caught him out. Cut off his escape. And threw him into some rocks. Mel was there to follow up with the E, with the Q. Down goes Vigar. Mel gets the kill credit. Pyroan looking to invade the Raptors. Believe he got the big Raptor there and more than his fair share of those small Raptors. A little bit of poke coming out from Team DS's bot lane. Looking to make Smolder struggle as he scales into this game. Great Q coming out from Braum. Looks like one turret plate going the way of Team DS. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Mel has 1 turret plate, and in the top lane, Zahen has 1 turret plate. Muffin Man hiding in bush. First drag going down at 8 minutes. That's roughly the time we've been seeing with all these first drags. Does go down to the side of Team DS. Sorry for the silence. We are into a little bit of a farming lull state, and honestly, I'm a little tired. But we will bring the energy up as the energy of the game goes up as well here. Oh, we have a Pyroan invading for the Raptors. Is forced to flash out of the Vigar cage. Great rotation from Skarner, from Vigar, both to be there on the invade. Smolder calls his mom, but Braum uses a shield, uses a Smolder mom repellent. Now, great play that amounted to no deaths on either team there. Pyroan doesn't have flash. Vigar doesn't have flash. Pyroan does have Void Grubs though. Great poke coming out from the side of Team DS's bot lane. Every couple times we pan over here, they're pushing. They're hitting plates. They're hitting Qs. So far it looks like we do have a standard Ezreal build coming. I'm assuming that that is Triforce. Triforce does build out of oh, Skarner caught in the mid lane. I'm assuming he was trying to drive there and got caught by the Mel E or the Talia combo, or a combination of both. Forgot what his name is called. Vigar. Vigar flashes forward, drops a combo onto Pyroan. Pyroan able to barely survive the burst. Does eventually go down to the Vigar, but Vigar did get taken down in return by the Mel. Mel also flashing forward there. So in that play in mid lane, again, we have 1 for 2 flashes. And 1 kill apiece. Another plate in the bot lane going over to the way of Ezreal. Ezreal with about a 20 goal or 20 CS lead with 3 plates to his opponent's 1 plate. Should have a decent gold lead. Does have a decent gold lead. Has about 1,100 gold on his opponent. Oh, he went with the Black Cleaver Rush. I'm assuming that's just because it gives good survivability and gives good CDR. I think Black Cleaver is a very good item right now, so I'm a little surprised to see it. But it will also help kill the Leona, even when Leona presses W, since Leona W is armor and MR. Vigar catching out the Leona, catching out the Talia in his cage, but does get hit by the Leona and dies to the Mel off on the side. Skarner trying to run forward, not able to run anywhere. Does go down to the Mel. We have a Talia wall coming out able to trap the Ezreal, put him in a little bit of a bad place there. Braum wasn't quite able to fully defend him. Ezreal does go down to the Mel ultimate. Did try using barrier to survive, but does go down anyway. Dragon up in 10 seconds. Pyroan is looking a little bit low here. Probably won't commit to the dragon. Will get the Scuttle Crab though. Get a reset off. Spend some of his 900 gold. Nope. Looks like Pyroan is committing to the dragon. Both of his lanes are pushed in. So he does have help from his mid laner who rotated over. Now going for the reset, spending 1100 gold. 1100 is bigger than 900. That is confirmed. Empirical, able to survive, able to fly just far enough over the wall that when he lands, he clips on over to the safe side. Meanwhile, Pyroan looking to farm top. Haven't really heard much from Mavs or Muffin Man here in the top lane right now. Both of them content to just farm. Muffin Man not quite at Titanic yet. Mavs does have full Triforce. Mavs has about 800 gold lead. Good combo onto Muffin Man there, taking advantage of the fact he has an item lead. Every combo of his is going to hurt significantly more than Muffin Man's is at this point in the game. Well, the slow landed from the Mel E. That is enough for Mel's Q to come down and hit Vigar for a good amount of damage. Where was I? About a 900 gold lead. Oh, we might have a fight breaking out over a ward. Looks like we do have Skarner coming down. We do have Mel coming down. Talia not quite coming down yet. Cooldown on the ultimate still. Smolder flashes away from the Skarner. Looks like Braum passive getting a stun onto Leona. Leona deciding to fully commit, saying you might kill me, but my goal is to kill one of you too. Empirical gets low, gets the Shen ulti, does take down the Skarner there. Talia with the great ultimate comes in just in time to kill the Ezreal and kill the Braum, who were both trying to run away. Mabs does get first turret, but shortly after, Empirical gets the second turret here. And we will do a stack check on him real shortly. Slouch does get hit by the tip of Mel E, but is running away towards Zahen, not able to make it there. One more Q from the Mel, one R from the Mel there, able to take down the Vigar. I wonder if I'll be able to do a gold check this time, or if we're going to start fighting. In the middle of it, we do have Mel and Leona hitting mid tier 1. We have teleport coming out from Zahen. Ooh, Braum able to apply his passive onto Mel. Mel flashes away, but does get exhausted on his way out. Mel going for the E. Mabs, though, able to buffer the ult. Gets onto Mel, able to get a shutdown. That's an extra 700 gold on that kill, 1,000 gold total. J-Rod applies the passive onto Muffin Man as well. Velociraptor left alone does go down to Talia. Skarner drives in, might go down, but he takes down Talia with him. Mavs this entire time has been fighting, gets another kill. Oh, Vigar with the flash outplay button, able to kill the Smolder at the end of the fight there. Braum able to finish off Muffin Man as well. All three of these members are low, but they are alive. And I believe they are going to be able to take this turret down before Mel gets here. They are now. Let's see if they get a safe reset off. Yep. Everyone gets a reset off. They have money to spend. Mabs got a big paycheck that time, getting the 700 bounty on the Mel's head. So quick gold check. almost a 4. That is a 3.8k gold lead in the top lane. But then immediately in the jungle, Talia also has just about a 3k gold lead. And in the mid lane, Mel has... Saw someone on the screen. Mel has 1900 gold lead as well. So even though Mavs is incredibly ahead on Zahed, both Talia and Mel are also ahead, and together they're able to even out the gold here. It is just a 1,300 gold lead in favor of Team PPP. Both teams have one Herald. PPP does have 3 grubs. Or both teams have one dragon. PPP has 3 grubs. And Team DS has the Herald. Looks like, yep, they were posturing to place the Herald down in the top lane. Going to get one of the camps as well. Talia Wall comes out, stops the Herald charge. No turret damage coming out onto top tier 2. That is a good use of Talia Wall right there. Not a champion I would instantly clock to having a Herald stopping ability, but Talia's ult is able to stop it. Leona ult coming out. They were trying to catch the Vigar there at the end of the recall. The Vigar's recall was able to finish in time, so he is able to get out of there alive. Meanwhile, Mavs setting up a trap here for Muffin Man. Does hit his W, does hit his ult. Does run after Muffin Man, but not able to do anything else there. Talia takes Gromp right in front of Skarner. Does get exhausted. There is a Vigar stun there. Does get Shen ulted, but Vigar ult does not care. Vigar just kills him through the Shen shield. Starting to see some big damage coming out from the Vigar. Oh, Vigar though steps up a little too far trying to push the wave in, and there's a Mel in that bush. Down goes Vigar. Leona and Smolder pushing the Skarner off of the Raptors, or at least trying to push him off the Raptors. He does get the Raptors with the smite. Tries to fight on the Leona there, but Leona is too tanky. They both just agree to walk away. Looks like both teams starting to set up vision control for the Baron. Right now, neither team has too decisive of a lead. There's 1k gold lead overall for Team PPP, but again, Mabs is incredibly far ahead of the Shen. Now we're going into a little bit of a All vision set up here. Pyroan is there to steal Gromp. That is another stolen Gromp right in Skarner's face. If I'm Skarner, I'm getting a little bit upset here about this. But Talia does have backup. 2 team members standing pretty much right behind Talia. One of them, Leona, does decide to jump onto the Skarner. Skarner eases Leona into a wall, flashes away from Pyroan's combo. Ults the Leona. They're able to stun the Leona, but the Shen ult does come down. Leona does go down. Pyroan, in the meantime, is getting hunted down here by Zahen. Zahen and the rest of the team able to kill the Talia. Kill credit did go over to the Skarner. Biscuit Boy ripping the Zonias. Does still go down 2 Mabs. But that was just a stopwatch. I'm sure the Zonia's upgrade is coming. And just pressed it because, you know, you're going to upgrade it here with 50 gold, so let it rip one time. J-Rod, shield the wrong way. I guess did stop the dragon projectiles. Team DS able to secure the dragon, 2 dragons apiece. And a bunch of arrows coming out on the Baird. Yeah, neither of them can deal with tanks. Unfortunately, the tank doesn't quite have a Kanik yet, so we'll see if the tank's able to deal with them so far. I think that, I mean, they do have 2 dragons. They have enough time where Smolder will be able to scale here into the game. I think their biggest problem is going to be the side lane pressure. The Zahen's going to be an absolute monster on side lane for the rest of the game here. Alright, looks like Force of Nature is coming in for the Skarner. When that's completed, for sure we'll be able to just walk through Pyroan and Biscuit Boy. So Empirical, it will be on Empirical to kill the Skarner. We'll do a quick stack check. I'm pretty sure he's already there. Yeah, 248. Maybe I missed it in the last little skirmish or fight that happened, but 248, he is smoldering. I haven't heard the satisfying noise yet. Muffin Man trying to get the wave. Does get caught out by Mavs on his way to the wave. Does get ulted by Mavs, and that right there is going to be a big problem. Mavs able to completely just destroy Shen in the side lane at this point. Skarner barely surviving the Talia smolder damage. Did eventually go down right after I said that. So not surviving. Ezreal though getting a triple kill, able to take down Talia at the end. And able to kill Leona and Smolder there in the middle of that fight. I did not see Smolder go down, but Ezreal is hitting Qs. Ezreal is ripping damage. Ezreal is building a static Shiv. I don't think it's necessarily a bad item. I see all the components and I think that's static Shiv. I don't know if they changed any of the other items to have that same build path.
I ain't afraid.
We have Dragon coming up in about a minute. Third drag for whichever team gets it. Neither team on Soul. Wee-hee. Yep, Ezreal did complete the static shiv. I do know that they buffed some of his AP scalings. Cost to play, there's no entry cost for the Beer League. Looks like we do have an engage here. Leona jumps onto the Braum. Braum, though, able to just walk it off. There's a Skarner there. There's a bunch of teammates for Team DS. Team DS and Zahen also coming. Ezreal able to land the last hit onto Leona. Meanwhile, Zahen just jumping into the enemy backline. They do force out Muffin Man's ult. That is a 1-for-0 to the side of Team DS. Dragon secured by the Skarner. No miss smites this time. Stayed cool, calm, and collected. Got the third dragon.
Problems should be broken up into little pieces.
Looks like we have Leona finding the Braum here. Leona is backed up by the Talia. The rest of Braum's team is coming, though. Here comes Skarner from the side. Not able to really make anything happen there. Shen is on side lane, has teleport, does not have ultimate currently. Zahen on top lane. Nothing really happening off of it. Looks like they did send Veigar down bot. Veigar does have teleport to match Muffin Man's teleport. We have Skarner just eating over to Baron side. Gonna do a quick vision check here. I think that red side has a lot more vision. And after this goes down, after Scuttle goes down, it'll hold even more true. This is red side's vision. They can see so far into the enemy jungle. Blue side cannot see the end of their own jungle. We do have a fight coming out. Braum does go down to Talia. Heroin and Catalyst out, both caught in the Skarner ult, but there's no real follow-up. Here comes the follow-up, though. Zahen jumps onto Talia there. Meanwhile, Veigar was able to kill the Mel over at the side of the fight. Zahen is nerfed, by the way. Yeah, good champion. Good champion. Thank you, Riot. Great design. We're at the point in the game here where Zahen is an absolute monster. Baron does go over the way of DS. Looks like Team DS is starting to snowball their lead. Game is still playable for the side of PPP. But these last couple fights have not been looking good for them. And as Team DS's members get tankier, and as their Vigar scales a little bit more, and their Ezreal scales a little bit more, it's just going to get harder and harder for them. They do have Smolder. But Smolder just took half of his health to an Ezreal combo. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Mabs gets the turret, gets the Shen. There's no Shen ult if Shen is dead. There's also still no Shen ult. It is still on cooldown, but there's no Shen ult if Shen is dead. Zahen able to get inhib turret as well. Pyroan ults over to stop the minions, but not able to stop the turret from going down. Oh, Skarner. Fast enough to not get hit by Pyro and EW. Does still go down to the Smolder here. That's a lot of their front line. Oh, Mabs and Braum caught by that EW by Pyro and great combo. Ooh, great little Ezreal Q there. Snuck right around the Leona. Hit Smolder right in the face. He gets the kill. Ezreal does get the kill. Smolder down for 40 seconds. We do have dragons spawned. Ezreal and Vigar looks like they are going to start a Pyroan is walking over there though. Pyroan has smite, notably. Yeah, triple first Smolder is massive. That Q, yeah, that Q is straight from the movies too. We do have Skarner coming down. Pyroan, maybe caught out. Pyroan, yes, caught out. They do land the Leona ult onto the Ezreal. Ezreal does not have flash, is in trouble. Ezreal, oh, Muffin Man tries to flash around the cage, flashes and still lands in the cage. Ezreal able to survive, able to play the edge of that fight beautifully. Meanwhile, we weren't seeing what was happening on the other side, but Zahen was able to get a kill onto the Leona there. Yeah, that's the danger. Pyroan was walking up towards Drag, but Ezreal and Vigar are there. And Vigar presses R. It's a lot of burst coming out from those two. See, Trevor, I do agree. Triple for Smolder is huge. The one thing is, though, Smolder is still an 80 carry. So while he does scale incredibly well, if Ezreal is able to pepper him with Qs, if Vigar is able to get close enough to him to press R, Smolder will always be in trouble.
Problems should be broken up into little. Whoa.
Especially now with Cloud Soul, that extra movement speed is just going to let the side of Team DS weave in and out in space a little bit easier and a little bit better. Mel is answering the supers up top. We do have 4 of them with the supers mid. Looks like Talia is answering those. Empirical trying to push them out of the entrance of the jungle. Mabs in the 1v1 again. But Shen has enough wave clear where the wave does not get under turret. I don't think we'll be seeing anything really happen here before Baron spawns. Baron is coming up in 25 seconds. Mabs gets the EW off onto Shen. Not able to make anything else happen. But here comes Team DS. They are rotating over to the Baron. Skarner stays in the banana bush. They do pink ward it. Looks like they were looking for a catch, but no one was following them, so they do just immediately start the Baron on spawn. Leona did reset. I don't know if her ward count was low or what all was happening, but Team DS is on the Baron actively. Pyroan ults in, trying to get to the Baron, but instead finds a Vygar cage and immediately gets bursted down. Meanwhile, Mab's able to kill the Shen and has Baron buff now. Still has the passive. If he dies, he will come back, but first you gotta kill him the first time. And that's not happening. Mab's able to survive, able to kill the Shen, able to almost kill the Leona with the team. Looks like they are ending right here. Baron buff, no playing around. They are trying to get to bed, and Team DS closes this game out. Yeah, Team DS looks strong all series. They had great team fighting all series. Mabs has been laning really well. Slouch has been playing very well as well on his champions. Velociraptor Raptored also playing well. Honestly, all 5 of them had very strong moments in the series today. DS is looking... They're looking good. Those Ezreal Qs are peppering, but wow, that Zahen damage was high. Meanwhile, I mean, their Smolder and their Taliyah were also doing a lot of damage. It just wasn't enough. I'm clicking... Oh, I can't click any of these. Unlucky. Are the numbers here? I'm looking at the numbers. Look at that healing. Look at that healing. What's healing him so much? I don't know. But, yeah, very well played. Very good showing, I honestly think, from both of these teams. DS looking very strong here. PPP had a lot of control in these early games, but not quite able to close out 2 of those games. They were able to take 1 of them, and all 3 of them were very close. Could have gone either way. Great series today, and I don't know when the next series is, but we will see you next time for the Beer League next series.